So as I explained you, um, in this lecture, I have explained you what is function, how we define a function, and the statement, right? How what are the function body, function declaration, function. This is function creation. This is function body, and function calling. Also, I will tell you. So in the last class, I was telling you uh, as how the flow works. So flow in the sense you can see here, this is the flow actually works. You start from the when you run the compile when you run the Python code, whatever the value you are going to pass. Suppose now this is called a calling of the function. Here you have defined the function. This is your function body. So when we run the code, this value, whatever the argument that you are passing, it will going to paste on this parameter. Which parameter? str1. Whatever value that you are passing, it will going to paste on this. It will come inside, it will going to print here that calling the user defined function, and it will return nothing. So this return keyword, we use it so that the flow of control of the program will go back to the function again. This return keyword, we use it so that the flow of a program after doing operation will go to the function again. So this is the way of uh, creating the function and defining the function and calling the function. So there are three steps: function creation, internally what operation you want to perform, that will be called as function definition, means the body that you want to provide it to the function, and this is called function calling. Hope it is clear to you. Am I clear, ma'am? Tejas, is it clear how
Yeah.
the calling is happening and how they are executing it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So let me rub this. So I will going to show you more example, and we're going to practice more on this so that it will be clear. Yeah, so as so let me let's do some program so that we can get more familiarity how we can define the function. So I'm here, I have opened this Google Colab. In the last class also I've explained you regarding this Colab, how we can declare the functions, and we can do it here. So you can see on my system I have written def, and this is the name of my function, and here I'm printing it. So here, what the step I follow here, that you will going to define the function, and when you want to check it, like what operation my function will going to perform, you will here call it. like uh, just like here I'm doing that. Let me run this and show you. So here I have created the function def hello name. The name of my function is hello. Hello is the name of my function. And what kind of function it is? User defined function, means that is defined by user. And this function, what operation it is doing? It is printing hello everyone. If you want, you can change it also. Whatever operation you want to perform, that you need to decide it. Like what operation you want to do it internally, you need to decide it. And if you want to know more about it, you can simply put the cursor there. It will show you the print is built-in function. Built-in function means that is predefined, means that is defined by your Python syntax only, means Python inventor only. That print function you can use it as a predefined function. But if you put the cursor on hello, you won't see anything except view source like this, right? What do you mean by this? Because this is a user defined, you have created it. You can give any name here. Hello one also you can give it, and you can run this. Now once you will call it, it will give an error. Why it will give an error? Because this is a hello one, and you are calling hello, means it is something like you are calling a person, and that person will going to respond you. So let me show you. Oh, okay, I think why it's giving an error. Okay, just 1 minute. Hmm. I think somewhere I have defined this hello one also. Might be because of that it is not giving an error. Okay, we will try this. Okay, here you can see I have given the name hello Amit, and I am trying to print here hello everyone. So once this is my function definition and creation, and here I'm calling it. Similarly, if you want to create some more function, how you can do it? You can simply type def hello or whatever name you want. Even if you give h also, and here, uh, okay, it's something regarding HTML. Okay, now this h is one function that I define it, and I'm passing here this parameter. What is the parameter here? I'm passing parameter name here is name. The parameter that I'm passing on which this h function will work is name here. Okay, so here let me change it to h. Let me run this. Hmm. Okay, let me change this to any name. Suppose Tejas. So see, it is printing it. How it is printing? This h is your function, and this Tejas, when you pass as an argument here, this will call as an argument. Why argument? Because while calling whatever you pass it, they will be called as an argument, and while declaration and definition what we pass it, they are treated as a parameter. So here you pass the Tejas name. This Tejas name will going to pass it here, and they can do it. Okay, so in this way you can define the function. You can define other function also. There are different ways of doing that. We have seen many function like this. Let's do some more with return keyword. I've shown with print. Let me do it with return keyword. So here you can see def. I have created one. I created again one function here, and this name one I'm passing as a parameter, and I'm trying to return that. So while return this, I am returning hello name. So this hello name will what it will going to do? It will going to check whether there is any function with hello or what. So let me check. Okay, let me run this. It is giving error. Why it is giving error? Because there is a no function with a name hello. Let me change it to the h. Now you see that it works. Why it works? Because here I am trying to return a value by calling another function. This is here what you are doing. Here you are creating one function. It's very simple to create a function in Python. What you need here, just need to pass an argument, sorry, pass a parameter here, and that while calling the argument that you pass it, that will be pasted here, and you will going to print it. Now here the thing is that instead of returning anything, you have called another function here. Am I clear to you? Here you can see I am calling another function with the name h that I have created here. So it will going to call that. So whatever the name one that you will going to pass while calling this function, that will be going to paste it here in the name, and that will going to show you here. Is it clear to you, or is it looking complex? Am I clear to you with this function? How it is?
Yeah.
What
Okay.
is function in function? Is it a system defined?
No, no. It's
What is
a user defined. If you want, you can change the name. So this is a user defined function we have created. Uh, Ma'am, it is actually the difference is like here, this is you have created based on your requirement, and print function, this print function you can see it, right? This is actually predefined, that is defined by the Python inventor, that when you want to print anything you can use this print function. But suppose your requirement is different, there are some tasks that you can't do it with a predefined function. In that case we use like user defined function. Now in Python you can't call another function from the another function, right? Means you can't call it with the predefined function to the another function with the return. Means like here I have created a like Swarnita mem as a function here, and that is completely user defined. As I shown you, I have given name on your name, that is completely user defined. What is my requirement? My requirement is I want some function that can print or that can call another function with the name h, and whatever the argument that I will going to pass. Now here suppose you want to pass argument string type. See, it is you are passing in a double quotation, it means you are passing in a string type. So see here you are getting an error. Why you are getting an error? Let me show you. Because here you have created a function def Swanita ma'am name one, and name one is of a string type. So when you pass it here, okay, you are passing what data type? Integer. So it won't be able to understand, means the data type string won't accept it. But if I give it in this format, it will accept it. Why it is accepting it? Because you are passing a string data to the string parameter, right? So here I want some function that can call another function with the name h, where the argument is of a string type name one, and whatever you are going to pass it while calling this function, it will going to print this. So are you means is it clear to you why we use function? What is the requirement of that?
Yes, and we can call one function from another function. I
Yes.
also got that. What
Mm.
if I want to return an integer value? What do I do then?
We will create an integer parameter, like it's you can do it like this. If you want to, okay. Mm, sorry, 1 minute. See, so here what I have passed integer type. So based on that, whatever the data type of an x, means whatever the value you are passing here, it will going to pay, means it will going to paste it in the parameter, and your compiler is dynamic type. Actually this Python language is of dynamic type. Dynamic type in the sense like they can find out the data type of a, variable of their own. They don't need it. But in other programming language like in Java and all, you need to specifically type like this integer x, then only it will going to understand that the x is of an integer type. But it's not like in a Python. In Python, as I pass one, this one was pasted here, and based on that it return one. So it is of integer type. If you pass here string type, then you need to write in a double quotation and print that. So it will work like this. Is it clear to you now?
Yes.
uh, Please ask, like if it is not clear, I can explain you.
It is clear, but if had I placed x between double quotes, it would have become a string value.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, got it.
So double quotation, we use it to represent the string. Single quotation for the character, and like a float, double, whatever value you want to pass, you can do it. Now you can see it here. One more function I have created it, and here function one. I created a function, and this function will going to do what it will going to do. It will going to print a hello world. Okay, it will going to print a hello world. Now here I am calling the function. Now when you call this function, you can see when you call this function, it will going to print hello world in the first time. But after that, I have used print Google. Okay, so it will going to print next time, it will going to print the Google value. Then here function one I'm calling again. So again the flow will go back here. Whatever you have defined inside this, it will going to print that, and it will going to perform that. So how many time you will going to call it, that function will perform. Why do we need this function? So that we can automate it. Automate in the sense like, you have defined the function here, and just like a button, you have made a code on that button or any switch. As I switch on, maybe the fan will going to on, or my laptop will be start, or uh, my mobile will be start, like that. So you have made the code here, and as calling means what, you are initiating that function, you are just performing the operation. So usually what happen, when we go like an for example ATM machine, right? So when we press any key to enter a pin or anything, there is a function is working behind it. So pressing a key is something like we are calling the function. This function, it's something like calling a function, and when you press it, something internally operation perform. That is something like this. So how many time you will going to call it, that much time it will going to do operation. So this is called as function, and in this way it works. And you ask me like, integer value also, right? I will going to show you how you can perform arithmetic operation. So here you can see I have created one function sum. Okay, let me change it to the addition. And here in this addition, I will going to print the uh, addition variable value. Let me take it as a add. It will going to perform, and it will going to print. Now I want to pass it. So what value I will going to pass it here? You can see this is the calling of my function. So let me run this. Now here what I did, I created an add function, and this a and b are the parameter. Add is the function, and this a and b are the parameter. I will going to share the code with you, so you can run on your system and you can test it. Now here what I'm doing, I am performing addition of a and b. So this a and b is a parameter, and this a and b is a variable also here. So whatever value of a and b user will pass, you can see here I'm passing 6.0 and 7.5. So this is of what type? Float type. So when you pass this float value, Python will automatically find it out when you run the code. Okay, the type of parameter or the argument that you are passing is a float type. So it will give the result also in that way. So this is what a and b is here. A and b are using to add two number. Okay, let's take do some modification. Let's take three value, and here I will going to pass one more value, that is 5.9. Okay, so a b c is what, a variable, and you will going to print addition. Whatever the sum of these three will going to assign to this addition, and you will going to print it. Now how will going to pass this value? Now you want a user to pass. So you can do it in a two way in Python. Either you can write a code where you ask the user to input a value, or you can do one thing like you can create a function and you can ask a user to pass a value. So this will work more fastly, because as you pass the value, the flow will go back again and it will immediately print it. So now you can see it. I'm running this code, and now I will going to run this. Oh, sorry, two position argument, but we, okay, sorry, here I have forgot to add three. Okay, 1 minute. 6 point, okay, ABC. Yeah, now you can see the sum of this 6.0, 7.5 and 5.9 will be 19.4. Means if you combine this 6.0 with 13.5, then 13.5 and is 18, and it will give you the summation of 19.4. So this hope you understand like how the flow will work here. As you created a function, so this is a function body. As you pass the value, the flow of the code will search for the add function. The means when you write this code, when you call it, it will search for this add keyword. Wherever it find add keyword, it will check the signature. This is called as a signature, means the parameter that you are passing, whether it is meeting with this or what, whether it is matching with this or what. What do you mean by this signature? See, the meaning is like that. Here you are passing what is the name of the function. The name of function is add, and you are passing how many parameter to it? Three parameter. And while calling, what value you are passing? 6.0, 6.0, then 7.5 will make it 13.5, and then you are passing 5.9, 5.9, and you are right. So when while calling, actually internally how operation works, when you call it, okay, when you call this is called a calling. It will search for add function. It will search for the add function. It will search for the add function whose signature, okay, this whose signature is matching with the function creation. So signature in the sense, like here, add and three parameter. So compiler will check, is there any add function you have declared previously with the three parameter. If you find it, otherwise it will print, otherwise it will give error. As we have seen, we were getting an error, right? When I run it, it was showing that you have passed two error. Why? Because while calling it, it was searching for the three parameter. It was searching for the signature of the add function with the three parameter. Add function with three parameter. So this is called as a function signature. Means function signature should be match in order to execute it. Am I clear to you?
Yes.
Yeah. So this function signature, if it matches with this add function, it will going to run that. So here you can see, when I pass it, it works. If you want, you can change it multiple time the values. If you don't want the value to be the decimal, if you want to take it in an integer, that also you can do it. Just you need to do, or you can do it like this also. um, Create one more code cell. You can create a new cell, and you can call it like add, and you can pass 1 2 3, and you can run this. So it is printing you 6. So based on your input, this function will going to perform. Similarly, you can do it for the subtraction, multiplication, division, and based on that you can print it. If you can assign to another value also, here I am assigning the result of this. Now here this add, okay, you can change it. Let me take it add. Okay, so 8 and 9, when you will going to pass it, there are three parameter, 8 9. Let's take 3. 8 plus 9 17 plus 3 20. So it will going to assign to t, and you can print it. So you can see here, you can print 20. How we did that? When you pass this add here, when you write this add, it will going to search for the add function. It will going to search for the add function in the whole code with a signature, as I said you that you need a signature here. So it will going to search for the signature where add is the name of a function with the three parameter, that is what, 8 9 and 3. So parameter in the sense like you can pass any parameter. It will going to just search whether is there any function add with having three parameter. So it will going to paste it here. Whatever the result they obtain, it will going to assign to t. Similarly, you can do multiple operation here. If you want to do some more function like based on the two parameter, as we have already seen previously also. Now if you want to do multiplication and addition both, and you want to return the value, how you can do that? You can see I have created a function here, and x and y. See, as I already said you, based on the x and y value your function will work. What do you mean by that? As I said you, it is a dynamic programming. So x value, y value, whatever you will going to pass, it will work in that way. Okay, let me show you. uh, okay, let me run this first and we can see that. So I'm running this, and then here in tnc is one variable I have created it. And whatever this function they will going to, here what they will going to do, this function will going to pass 23 and 45 here. It will going to add it. So after adding you will get around 68 something, yeah. While sum and you in multiply you will get it. It will going to return that value, and after that you will going to print that. You can see it. So see, it is working, right? Similarly, let me show you another way. Okay, this is, I created one function. Now I will going to call it. So what this function is going to do, it will going to do the addition of a two parameter that you have passed. So let me pass the two parameter. Oh sorry, 1 minute. Okay, it's can't able to combine it. Okay.
So the function name is demo, not sum.
Oh sorry. Oh yes, yeah, thank you. Sorry, I was thinking this sum only, sorry. So here ma'am, as you can see, like uh, here I'm passing this string parameter, and based on that string parameter it will going to do the concatenation. This plus operator, when we use it with a string variable, it will going to concatenate it, it will not going to add it. But if similarly if you pass another thing, like suppose you are passing print demo, and you are passing 1 and 2, then it will do some other operation, it will going to add it there. So it is printing 3, right? So it's based on the data type, right, what value you are going to pass it here. So just wanted to tell, like based on the value that you are going to pass, it will going to work on that. So if you pass string value, it will going to do concatenation between the string value, and if you pass like integer value, it will going to do that sum of that. So hope it is clear to you regarding the function, how we work it, and how you can perform several operation. Similarly you can perform the condition also, you can apply condition also if you want, like a different condition you can apply it here, like def square x. Suppose here I have created one function square x, and I'm checking if my x is equal to 5, I will going to return that terminated because you enter 5. Otherwise it will work on some other value, let me check it. So I'm running this, and in place of 10 let me pass 5. So see, it is printing, right? How it works: when you pass the 5 while calling, it is pasted here. Pasted in the sense it will be copied to the location of an x, reference variable x, and then you are checking a condition here, like if x is equal to 5, and if it is equal to 5, always remember the indentation, that if condition will come inside the function, return will come with parallel to the variable, and this result, as you are printing here, it will come outside of that, and you will going to result it. So now whatever value you are going to pass, it will going to do the square of that, square root, it will going to find it out, square of that. So now here if I pass 10 to the power 2, like it will be 100. So let do that, in place of 5 let me pass it 10. So see here it's printing 100. So you can apply the condition also inside this function, and based on the requirement you can modify it, like if x is equal to 5 you will going to return this, if otherwise else if you can apply it, x is equal to 10 you will going to return it. So based on that you can perform several operation on this. Similarly you can apply this also, like whatever value you will going to pass it, based on that you can check it. So this function will going to check like whether it is positive and negative. So here I created a function, let me change the name. So I am taking find a type of number, I will going to paste it here same. So here what I'm doing, whatever value the user will pass, here I will check if it is greater than 0 it will be positive, else if it is less than 0 it will be negative, else it will be 0. So um, hope you are aware about this programming, like if condition, else if, are you aware about it, right?
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes, yes.
yeah. So here with this for loop I am passing the several parameter. So you don't need to be stick for a single parameter, you can pass at a time multiple parameter also, uh, with the help of for loop, while loop. So here I'm doing for I in a this square bracket, in the sense list, whenever you pass inside the square bracket it considered as a list to that. So here for I in a this set of an element, print find type of number I, it will going to call this, it will place this I value here, it will check it, and it based on that it will print it. Let me run this, and I just run this one. So here minus 2 will going to paste it here, then this minus 2 will be assigned to this, And is minus 2 greater than 0? No. Less than 0? Yes. So it is printing negative. Then you will check for 5. 5 will be assigned to x. Is 5 is greater than 0? Yes. It is positive. So it will print positive. Like this it will work. So hope it is clear to you, ma'am, like how we define the function, and Tejas to you also. Any difficulty in this?
Yeah.
Anything not clear on this?
I understood.
Okay, so can you practice this on today's, like on this function part?
Yeah. I just have a quick question.
Yeah,
So, what
please.
is up with the recording? Uh, why? Uh,
Yes, ma'am. Recording I will going to upload it. Means by today actually, in the weekend only we get time rest. So I will going to upload today all the recording. So you want recording of the last class and today's class, right?
no, so there was this instructor called Abhishek, and he was going through a lot of questions in the last class. If you could send me that as well.
Abhishek, sorry, I was not
So,
there. Is it?
last Python class, there was
No,
one
no. Oh, okay,
instructor.
okay. Yeah, Abhishek, he took the last class. Yes. Okay, I will
Right.
say him. I will ask him whether he has. So today I have a recording of this session. Previous session means previously that I took it because my system got hang, so uh, it was not recorded. But I have recorded for this lab part. You can go through this. I will upload it there. Means I will upload in the Hackweather channel also, and I will upload in my channel also. You can search for this also.
And he also explained cloud computing beautifully.